Thank you for tuning in for the first part of the Escalation Strategies on Demand Part 2. During Part 2, we will discuss baseline interventions. But before we get into all that, allow me to introduce my sister from another mister. Her name is Polly Bath. Polly is an expert in handling the worst classroom behaviors. She is a much loved consultant, trainer, and keynote speaker. She helps schools dramatically reduce behavior problems, increase student SEL skills, and build strong school cultures supportive of all learners. Take it away, Polly.
One thing you should always ask yourself when I say behavior, it's not that we're all working with kids who have terrible behaviors, right? We're not. However, every action is referred to as a behavior. Kids don't do their work, kids sleep, kids swear, kids tantrum, kids go under the desk, knock over chairs, uh, vocalizing, saying no, hitting or hurting themselves, all right, depending upon the population of kids you work with. Those are behaviors. One of the things you got to remember is that behaviors are symptoms. Keep that in your head. They're symptoms. They are the things that we can see that should light up our brains and make us say, what's the function of that? What are they getting from it? What's the function? What are they getting from it? Every single one of you in this room has behaviors every day. You all demonstrate behavior. Some of you came here early today. Why did you come here early? What was the function? To get the seat you wanted. All right? Some of you brought your coffee with you. What was the function? To stay awake. Every behavior serves a function. Some of you set an alarm last night so you could get up on time. I always set 2 alarms because I'm a little paranoid. Every behavior. So we're not necessarily talking about bad behaviors. We're talking about, in general, what human beings do. So you've got to have a function behind that. So when kids do something outrageous or something weird, you're like, what's the function of that? What are you getting from that?
Thank you for sharing, Polly. I see you on the 33rd of next month. Remember, save me some of that famous banana pudding that you make. Today, let's begin by looking in the mirror. The most important de escalation intervention is you. That's right, I said it. You are the most important person. Are you on the green pathway? Are you running on a few hours of sleep? Did you eat breakfast? Did someone cut you off on the way to school? Like, for real, what state are you in when you get to school? Sometimes you got to check yourself first. Is my facial expression relaxed? Is my body language relaxed? Are my arms crossed? Am I sitting down or am I standing up? Was I displaying any nonverbal cues that could seem as if I'm not interested in what the student has to say? Do I have patience and understanding when it comes to their behavior? Can we truly seek to understand what the student is feeling, wanting, or needing? Remember, we should send nonverbal messages that we want our students to receive. If you feel like you're putting out fires and de-escalating students all day, every day, it would be a great idea to revisit the foundation of your behavior plan, which should be PBIS. Let's take this to the classroom. If you are a classroom teacher and you have prepared your students for test day, students take the test and they fail. At your school or in your classroom, what would you do? I would hope that you would reteach the skill or objective in hopes that your students get a better score. Now, if a student fails a test or assignment and we reteach in hopes that they get a better score, why don't we treat behavior the same way? We must teach students how we want them to behave in school, and some may need multiple lessons. How many of you rode a bike successfully the very first time? I didn't think so. It probably took time and some positive reinforcement before you began to see results. Speaking of reinforcements, schools and classrooms use PBIS as a means to reinforce positive behaviors they want to see more of. PBIS is your baseline intervention. Are you teaching students how you want them to interact with the school environment? Are students engaged in learning? How do you keep students engaged? What happens when a student is not engaged? How do you handle it? How do you acknowledge your students? What is your token economy? Are you using butterfly bucks, PBS rewards, class dojo? Is there sufficient positive praise and acknowledgement of positive behavior? How do you respond to inappropriate behavior? Are inappropriate behaviors addressed consistently and in a timely manner? What's your procedure? What does your environment look like, sound like, and feel like? How do you maximize your class time, your transition time, your restroom break time, your lunch time, your recess time? PBIS is foundational and designed to grow our green. Coming up in part 3, we will discuss how to identify and combat triggers.